So basically, recently I've been noticing that there's many kinds of categories of people, almost as if there's like a repetition in the DNA strain, but it's still at random, to where I want to write almost like a book or a documentary or even a science experiment to try and pinpoint these different categories of people and figure out what their uses are. Let me try and elaborate more. So you got the people that are real closed-minded. I like to call them assholes. They were told from a young age that something's how it is, and they've believed it for the rest of their life, even if Google says no. And then you got the people that are always wanting to fight. Why do you want to beat up on people? It's because they just spent too much time in the lockers at school with their underwear shoved up their ass. And then you got the people that I like to call them decoys. They basically just roam the earth and they eat food and they go to work and come home and repeat. And they don't really have a purpose, they're just there. And then you got the people that are successful and they got nice cars, big houses, hot wives, whatever the case may be. And then you got your gangsters and so on and so forth. So these are the categories of people. There's many more. I mean, you got your rednecks. I could go on all day, but basically what I want to do is I want to write down say I pick hillbillies, rednecks, whatever you want to call them. And I want to describe what each and every one of these have in common with each other. Therefore, I can somehow maybe try and figure out what their best direction and what path to pick in life. Because I don't want no redneck being a doctor. I don't want no gangster being a president. So if I could somehow come up with a page or two describing these people and their actions and how they do what they do, maybe I could come up with an occupation for them or what I would recommend. I still feel like I'm not really digging deep enough. So I would consider myself, I don't know, I guess a hipster. I don't know. I just like to hang out, have fun, drink some beers. I go to work. I bust my ass at work, actually. About to be going there in a couple hours from now as it is, pouring concrete. But I don't think that's the occupation that best suits me. I think, honestly, I personally would like to design clothes. I'd like to start a clothing line, yada, 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 yada. And everybody has their dreams, but I tell you what, I've yet to see a gangster dream about being a veterinarian. I've yet to see a hillbilly want to be a damn pole dancer. So there's got to be something there that's keeping them in the category. It's a category. I'm trying to basically make a category for every human being on this planet. And I have been out of Michigan very few times, so where there's categories of people that I don't know about. And then you got the people that, for instance, say I seen you spit in my Kool-Aid. And I said, hey man, did you just spit in my Kool-Aid? And they look me right in the eyes and they say no. And I say, fuck you. They're gonna think that I'm saying fuck you because I think they spit in their Kool-Aid, but no, I'm saying fuck you because you're looking me right in my eyes and lying to me. I just watched you do it. But now at this point, this compulsive liar has already trained their mind that they did not spit in the Kool-Aid, and they truly believe that they did not spit in my Kool-Aid even though they did. And there's so many people like this in the world, so many people that will sit there and believe their own lies. And after a while, they think it's the truth. Like, I feel like they could pass a lie detector test because they've trained their dumbass minds so well to think that they didn't do something that they did. And I'm sure you guys see what I'm getting at here at that point. So, and then you got the people that are let me think. Let me try and think of like you got a guy working on construction. Now, you're telling me that you can't come up with at least 5 things that every man working on the roads has in common. Now, I'm not talking about, oh, they got a bald head and a yellow jacket on. I'm talking about the way and how you were raised has nothing to do with who you are. Just to put that in there. But that guy that's wearing the yellow jacket and the bald ass head, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what characteristics does this man have that make him go work and do that job? And what characteristics does this woman have to go do whatever she's doing? And I want to break it down, and I need help. I need somebody that's willing to sit there, and basically I want to set it up like, we'll call it the hoes, the average Joes, and something else. We'll come up with a name, but basically each chapter would be based upon this class of person, if you will, and I want to start it off by describing the kind of person that I'm talking about so you can relate, and then I really want to get into detail, and I want to say, listen, this is something that all these people do. This is why this group of people and this group of people don't get along, because they have characteristics such as this that are not corresponding very well. And this is why this people and this people get along. And I've told people this before, and they say, oh, well, that's what the signs are. What are you, a Cancer or I don't even know nothing about it. I think it's a load of shit. Your horoscope. And that's not what I'm talking about, because I don't see how when you were born deciphers who you are. Because if my mom and dad would have had me 2 weeks later, I would have been born in May. So you're telling me that I wouldn't be the same guy that I am today and have acquired the same genes that my mom and dad have crafted? Which, by the way, sorry, Mom and Dad. But anyways, you can even tell simple things by the way the cars that people drive, down to the shoes that they wear. And if you broke it down far enough, you could come up with almost let me try and think of the word here. Almost like an equation, if you will. Formula. There it is. You could almost come up with a formula about these people and say, well, this and this and this adds up to this. And it would take a lot of time to break down somebody, but people really aren't that unique. Yeah, they look different. Yeah, whatever. I think that looks are basically like a random number generator, But the inside, there's really not a lot of different kinds of people in this world. You got all these people that are digging Donald Trump, and then you got all these people that are digging Hillary Clinton, and then you got these people that are walking around hunting Pokemon. Now, I want to know, what the hell do these people all have in common that are making them do these things? Because it sure as hell just ain't one of them. And if people had creativity and they were personalized and they were the only one like them, then why in the hell is there 6 pairs of shoes and Journeys? Why can you only buy so many different kinds of clothes? That's not personal. You're not special. You just bought off the clearance rack like the other half of the city did. And I guess I'm kind of getting off topic here, but if anybody's down to maybe hop on Skype or something like that and talk about this idea that I have, I want to write almost like a book, but I got bad spelling, to be quite honest with you, and it's always better. 2 brains are better than 1. I mean, I did a lot of painting, and I was painting this room, painted it real good, and I go grab my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, did I miss anything? She walked right up and showed me what I missed. I scanned that wall 10 times, but just that a new brain and a new way of looking at something, she spotted it almost immediately. So I feel like, and if I could get, one second, if I could get multiple people on board and multiple people's opinions and multiple kinds of people, because if you're a category of your own, then I'm going to learn a lot about you, you know? And then say me and a buddy go and we're playing pool and we're like, hey, that's like that bitch from chapter 6, man. She's one of those girls. And then I'm like, oh, well, how can you tell? I'm like, oh, well, she's got a dog out in her super hot car and her pants are sagging. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be a way, almost as if there's a pattern or basically just a pattern of categories of people. And now back to the decoys. There's people, I know one of them, I'm not going to mention no names. Alright, it was my ex's dad. He would wake up at the exact same time every single day. He would go to work. He would do the exact same job every single day. He would come home from work. He would sit on his lazy boy in the exact same position as the day before, drink the exact same pop, take a shower at the exact... You see what I'm getting at here. His life, I don't know how he knew which day was what, because they were all the same. And if his pattern was broken, if somebody messed up his routine, oh, you better stand out the way, because now he's pissed. And that is what I would call a decoy. Those are the people that they have no, I don't know if emotions would be the correct word, but they have no input. They just do what they do. It's almost like they're on autopilot. They just kind of skate through life and get in the way of the people like myself and a lot of people I'm sure on my Facebook that are creative and have ideas and come up and construct and plan and think deeply. Like, I think of it as, think of your knowledge as a swimming pool. Some people are floating on the top. Some people are doggy paddling, and some people are jumping off a 40-foot diving board and almost hitting the bottom because they can comprehend and they can think and they can admit if they have a mistake. Like my mother used to tell me that girls don't poop. I don't know why. I don't know. That's besides the point. But she told me that girls don't poop, and I believed that bullshit until I was about 10 years old. Now, somebody that was extremely hard-headed and very close-minded to this day would think that girls don't poop. But then I thought about it. Well, where the hell is all the food going that she's eating? Because, I don't know, she ain't puking it out. And I could man up enough to say, well, you know what? She probably does poop. And I was wrong this whole time. And correct myself and advance and move forward and learn something, opposed to just sitting there thinking the same things and not moving anywhere in life whatsoever. So where this all came from was me and my buddy Sean were just out cruising around, and I seen this guy, and he actually lives in the apartments that I live in, and his name's Brian, and he has a bad leg, real bad leg, and he has a limp to him, and he inspires the shit out of me because this guy every single day will walk all the way down them stairs with his dog, and he'll go for walks and he'll do what he does. And my little brother said he goes to the gym. Like, this guy has not given up. Now, take it back to when I used to live in Traverse City. There was a guy there named Brian, and I did roofing with him, and he had a bad leg, and this mother, you know what, would not give up. He would not let that stop him. And then you look at somebody else. Well, it's kind of a coincidence that their names are both Brian. That's what I was getting at there. But then you got the people that go to the doctor, they get their scripts, they go home, they sit on their ass, and they say, man, I wish my leg didn't hurt. And that's the drive, the motivation to. And I got another story. My boss, he was in the military for 6 years. Doctor told him that he won't be able to ever run again. It told him that he'll be in a wheelchair by the age of 40. So instead of getting his pain meds and going and crying about it, he started going to the gym and he started busting his ass. Next thing you know, he built up strength in his core, and now we lay construction because he had the drive and the initiative and the willpower to get up and do something. And now I'm talking about people that are hurt here. There's people out there that are healthy as shit that are doing nothing, and they're going to sit around and complain about it and say, man, why does my life suck so bad? It's because you're not doing nothing with it. I don't mean to just sit here and preach. I mean, if you want to sit home and play Xbox till you're 47, run it. But I tell you what, I don't. I want to move up in this world. I want to become something. Not for the attention or the fame or the money, but just for myself. I want to be able to prove to myself that I'm capable of a lot more than what I thought I was capable of. And it's difficult, yeah, and a lot of shit's gonna beat your ass on the way. But when you do make it to the end and you do make it to whatever you want to be, which brings me back to hopefully I figured out a formula to find out what you want to be. Once you make it there and you're getting your paychecks and you're driving your new whatever you want to drive, that's got to be the most fulfilling feeling of saying I did it, I made it. And then you got all these Obama babies that just sit there and get all their everything they have the government pays for. It feels so much better to go out and earn something, man. And I know that people are probably going to be pissed at that one, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to, basically the whole moral of this was I want somebody to come over to my house and sit down, and let's, basically the first thing we need to do is like a rough draft of the categories of people that we can think of. Hipster, ghetto, black, white, let's figure out all the different kinds of people. And then we need to start elaborating on them and figuring out, well, it seems that everybody that is a redneck has a lot to do with farming. Well, why? Why are they farmers? What is built inside of them that makes them farm? But we can't be too specific because there's going to be a lot of loopholes if we are. You can't say that every redneck drives a truck. I mean, we gotta vaguely describe them and figure out the pattern, figure out the code, the combination of these people. Why? Why are they like that? Why am I like the way that I am? There's probably 10, 20, 30,000 people like me in this world. We don't look the same, no. Because you can be a lot more creative with physical features than you can with emotional responses. There's really only probably 15 different kinds of people in the world. They might make different decisions at times, but they sure as hell do have a lot in common. And I don't know if say you're in a relationship, I don't know if the person that's opposite of you attracts, like they say, opposites attract. Or do you want somebody that has a lot in common with you? Because I tell you what, me and my girl, oh man, dude, we were sitting on the couch and we both crossed our legs at the same time, and then we cleared our throat at the same time. I mean, we always are saying what the other one was thinking, or we speak at the same time and say the same words, and we're totally on the same page. We have so much in common. And I know that we hang out a lot, so maybe she and I are rubbing off on each other. But at the same time, I'm sure there's somebody out there I could have. I'm not saying I'm trying to replace her. I'm saying I'm sure there's some homie out there that I could meet on day one and we both have the same views and the same everything. And we ain't even ever said a word to each other before. And it's just so intriguing to me because I've never heard anything about it. I've never heard nothing about it. I mean, yeah, everybody puts people into categories. Oh, you damn hick, you redneck, you freeloader, you son of a bitch, whatever. But why? What is making these people that way? And I need help figuring it out. And I'm going to stop it here because it's starting to rain. But If anybody's interested in the topic I'm talking about, please message me and let's start knocking this out and see if what kind of common grounds we can find amongst the humans that we live with every day. And one more thing. If you're walking your dog, right, and it walks past another dog, that dog will turn around and sniff his ass, or they'll play or do whatever they do. Now, how is it that me as a human can walk into Walmart and say hi to 5 people and get 0 responses? We're all on this planet together. We should be a big ass team. If China and Russia and us put all of our ideas into one bin, it would be unbelievable, because they have something that we don't, but that would fix something that is massive. But I don't understand it, you know what I mean? Like, why is it that people isolate themselves so much? I understand that some people have maybe been fucked over or have trust issues or whatever, but everybody? Like, I go and say hi to somebody and